All of us reach a point in time where we are depleted and need to somehow find a way to reignite the fire within. But how do we spark that flame? Welcome to Reignite Resilience, where we will venture into the heart of the human spirit. We'll discuss the art of reigniting our passion and strategies to stoke our enthusiasm. And now, here are your hosts, Natalie Davis and Pamela Cass.
So the antidote, if you want me to keep going, that is.
Yes, please.
Yes, yes. Well, and I think it's also important for us to reinforce, Rhonda, what you mentioned is that wheel of fear can pop up in any area of your life. And so I want to just invite our listeners to know that we're not talking like professional or personal. We're talking everything, like your relationships, your fun and leisure, your finances, your family and friends, like all of that. Like it can pop up in any of these key areas of your life. And it's situational, right? So in any area, in a variety of situations, you can hop right into that wheel of fear.
And you probably have with certain people, you have a pattern on the wheel of fear that you have been acting out for years, if not decades.
Yeah.
And it's the norm.
And it's the norm. And I got to tell you, I'm so glad you said that, because one of the things that I hear when people hear me talk, and they may come to a workshop or come to a class with me, I hear this all the time. I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to lose my friends, because they think that if they get fearless, that they're going to lose all the people in their life.
Yeah.
And I reassure them over and over, no, that does not have to happen. You do not have to get divorced. You do not have to lose your friends. Are you going to speak to them differently? Yeah, probably. And in the book Fearless Living, I talk about who fear junkies are and who fear busters are. And trust me, my best friend can be a fear junkie to me and a fear buster. And I can be a fear junkie in a certain area of her life and be a fear buster, right? So we want to
And you can still be best friends.
And we can still be best friends.
That's it. Yes.
Right? And I can't tell you how many marriages, this is a great example. So a couple, I was speaking in Kentucky, and a couple came to the event, and they were sitting like in the front row. And afterwards, the husband came up to me and said, my wife and I were divorced. His wife was standing next to him. We got divorced. And then I started doing fearless living. And I realized all of our problems because of fear.
Wow.
And so I called my wife up and I asked her if she was willing to do fearless living with me. And she was. And they got remarried.
Oh, wow.
And they were like teenagers.
Oh.
They were like, we would not be married today. And I've had that happen many, many times. People getting married because now they understand their fear. People staying and falling more in love with their spouse, right? Getting closer to their spouse, healing long-term relationships, making more money, right? I had a guy, I was speaking at a 8 figure mastermind. And so everybody makes a lot of money, right? And this guy, this young guy in the front row is like, well, I just want to quit making a lot of money and losing it. I do it all the time. I make it, I lose it, I make it, I lose it. I want to quit doing that. Now, you know what he wanted, right? He wanted some magical tip, right? Like, oh, well, do 3 circles and you're healed, right?
Yeah.
That's what, right? Yeah. Some strategy.
You're like, hop off the Ferris wheel. It's fine. It's going to be great.
Well, as he's telling me the story, I asked him a couple questions, and he revealed in a group, which I'm so proud of him, that this is the same thing his father and grandfather did. And I said
the
to
genetic
him,
piece that you mentioned.
and I said, are you willing to forgive them?
Ooh.
He looked at me like I had 4 heads, right? And again, he wanted a strategy.
Yeah.
I said, in order to stay close to them, in order to validate their lives, you have to keep doing what they're doing. In order to justify their choices, to not make them bad or evil or wrong or stupid, you've got to keep doing what they did.
Mhm.
So in order for you to free yourself, you must forgive them.
Yeah.
And he got teary-eyed. I said, I'm telling you, the energy will shift immediately.
Yeah.
So he did, and he's great, and he's fine, right? And that's the thing.
Mhm.
So many business people think that if they have a better strategy, that their lives will change.
Yes.
And again, not that a better strategy might not help your business.
Mhm.
But I promise you, if you can identify where fear is running your business and able to move into freedom, I promise you your business is going to change.
Mhm.
Your relationship with your spouse or your partner will change. Your relationship with your kids will change. Your relationship to the outside world will change. You will not see through the same lens.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's again the point. In neuroscience, again, perception is the key.
Mm.
Yeah. So, Wheel of Freedom,
Right.
anyone?
Please. Yes.
Well, I know I'm talking a lot, so I apologize.
All
If
No,
right.
this is great. This is
okay,
great.
all right, all right. Okay, but if you want me to shut up, just say, shut up, Rhonda.
No.
But okay, so you're on your wheel of fear. Remember, we were on our wheel of fear.
Mhm.
Loser was triggered for me, right? And now maybe I'm doing a fear response, or maybe I'm even down to worthless. Oh, wait, I got to get on my wheel of freedom. Whoops. I must immediately go over to my essential nature. Remember Lefty Lucy now. I
Yeah.
got to get to my essential nature. Now, here's the trick. Your essential nature, you hid away long, long ago.
Mm.
You have a zero access when you are triggered to
Mm.
apply it to your own life. You can give it to others. You can give it to others all day long. You can share it with them. You can admire it in others. But when shit's hitting the fan, you lose all capacity to give it to yourself. Okay? So some people's essential natures are loving. It's loving. So shit hits the fan, you take away self-love right away. Right
Mm.
away. That first thing out the door, right?
Mhm.
You start beating yourself up, you start treating yourself a different way, right? Self-love's out the door. Another essential nature could be generous, right?
Mhm.
My essential nature is authentic.
Mm.
Okay. Now, this is what's so fascinating to me. When I was shopping my first book around, an editor asked me, "What was the first book you remember reading, self-help book or And I didn't remember this until they asked me. And I said, "Oh my God, when I was 12 years old, I read Why Am I Afraid to Tell You Who I Am?" Come on now. Come on, people. Come on, right?
Wow.
And when I was younger, I would write in my journal all these quotes about authenticity, like E. Cummings quote, which I'm going to butcher, to be yourself in this world is the hardest journey you'll ever take, right?
Mhm.
And I would write them, and I would want to be authentic so bad. I would want to be authentic so bad. But if I was authentic, I was too much, too wrong, too whatever.
Mhm.
And remember, my unconscious greatest fear, the prison that I created for myself by the time I was 7, unbeknownst to me, was loser.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the wheel of fear tells me, well, if you're going to be authentic, everyone's going to know you're a loser then.
Yep. Yeah.
So when I, with my best friend's help, discovered authentic,
Mm.
that's when I started crying because I want to be authentic. I wanted to be authentic more than anything in the whole world,
Yeah.
but I could not be.
Yeah.
I could not be.
Mhm.
And I thought I had to be a chameleon. I had to play a role in order to be accepted, in order to be loved, in order to fit in. Our greatest human need is belonging and connection.
Mhm.
And to be myself, guaranteed in my mind, right, in my fear-based mind, that is the last thing I'd get is connection and belonging.
Mhm.
So when we uncovered that mine was authentic, I mean, again, I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. I had to admit I had no idea who I was.
Mm.
Wow.
I had been playing a role for so long, I didn't even know. And again, I didn't know that I didn't know until that moment.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me what my favorite color was, I would have said green. You know why? Because my kindergarten boyfriend's favorite color was green. You would have asked me what my favorite food
Wow.
was. It was Mexican. You want to know why? Because my husband at the time's favorite food was Mexican.
Wow.
And I started recognizing that everything that I'd done or chosen, most things in my life, important things or unimportant things in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I did in order to fit in, belong, to make sure that I didn't turn them off, offend them, right?
Yeah.
Right? That I wasn't that broken,
Mm-hmm.
girl, right?
Yep.
So, so here you are, your essential nature. People, it's again, can I be authentic if I'm not triggered? Sure, I had more access to it. But even back then, I was on fear so much, I had literally no access to my wheel of freedom.
Yeah.
And so I started going around the world, going around every day. Every day I did this all day long. All day long I did this. Do I like this cup? Do I like do do I want to drink out of this cup? Wait, do I like this water? Hmm. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
You didn't know. You'd never
Did
spent
I
any
like
time.
did I like
Yes.
these glasses? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because what would you do? You'd go to the glass store. How do I look? How do I
Yes.
look? Right? Right?
Yeah.
I hope they
Yeah.
look okay, right? Do I like this color? Do I like this? I literally walked around all day for, I would say, a good 3 months.
Good.
I was like, do I like this pillow?
Mm-hmm.
And it was revelatory for me
Yeah.
how much unconsciously I had created life that, by the way, I thought I liked,
Mm-hmm.
that had little to do with me.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in my life.
No.
And I thought it was a good life, right?
Yeah.
It was okay. It's okay, right? So I had forgiven my parents, right? I didn't have mom and
Mhm.
back anymore. Like, I'm good, right? So this was shocking to me. So
Yeah.
essential nature for many people is, again, shocking. They cry, they get
Yeah.
confused. Like, how could because you ask them, so let's say they use the loving one, right? Let's say theirs is loving. And you say, well, how loving are you to yourself? And immediately they go, well, I'm very loving. No, no, to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, to yourself. I mean, they literally can't,
Yeah. It's foreign.
it's foreign, foreign. How
Mm-hmm.
generous are you to yourself?
Yeah.
What? Well, I'm a very generous person to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they, I'm speaking a foreign tongue, right? Like,
Yeah.
they don't know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get your essential nature, and that gives you your way out. Because again, you hid this as your wheel of fear was being formed. You put this away because it was not safe to do this.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is your way out
Mm.
because you must grab that back in order to feel the wholeness of who you are.
Yeah.
You can't leave parts of yourself behind. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So,
Well, Rhonda,
yeah,
before we leave this essential nature piece, because I find it so interesting that yours is authenticity. And I go back to 14-year-old you, and you and your sisters just come together after going through a pretty tragic and traumatic experience in life. But you went through the next couple of years like nothing to see here. We just
yep,
got a
nothing
job.
to
We
see.
still live at home. We're
Mhm.
good. We're
Nothing,
fine.
nothing to
Everything's
see.
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everything's fine. No,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
no, I mean, I remember. So I was going to be a minister, remember, at this time. So
Yeah.
I know you're about to be shocked what I'm about to tell you. But every Sunday we went ice skating. I went ice skating that night.
Wow.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Just fine.
One of my dear friends, 14-year-old girl, runs into skating, sees me, and collapses in my arms.
Yes.
And I'm taking care of her.
Because you're fine.
I am fine.
Yeah.
I said to her probably, well, I've forgiven him. Like I told everybody I forgave him. And at the level of consciousness that I was, I had,
Yeah.
right? Right. And that's what people don't get. You can only forgive, you can really forgive at the rate of consciousness. So,
Mm-hmm.
I forgave my father that day at the level of consciousnness I had.
Mm-hmm.
Then as I expanded and evolved, had more access to myself, I forgave again. And
Yeah.
then that big event at the 20th anniversary was like a,
Mhm.
right? It was like a watershed
Yeah.
moment, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, authentic,
Yeah.
tell anybody that something was wrong with me.
And I might think I'm a loser if I do that.
No way, Jose.
Right. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So
Okay.
good
Yes.
callback. I appreciate that, Natalie.
Absolutely.
So you say to yourself, the first thing I do when I'm triggered, I go, okay, Rhonda, what would you be doing, saying, how would you be if you were authentic?
Mhm.
Because when I'm really triggered, I have to be like, what would I do if I'm authentic, right?
Mhm.
You can't get it. You can't
Mhm.
grab it. Well, that's where proactive behaviors come in. So I tell my students to create, I have like 100 proactive behaviors for you to check off to see which ones are good for you based on your essential nature. And I say, make sure you have one you can use on a
Mhm.
date, at Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
at work, when you're leading the meeting, when you're isolated, when you're right. So
Yeah.
you need a proactive behavior for all of the situations where you get triggered, as many as possible.
Yes.
Now, some you can use for all of those situations, like you can take a deep breath in all those situations, right?
Mhm.
But there's others that are really specific based on the
Mhm.
situation, right? As we've talked about. So your job is to do that proactive behavior. Do it now. Then when you start start doing proactive behaviors on your behalf, right?
Mhm.
On your behalf, you're doing it on your behalf. You naturally, without any effort, fall into what I call wholeness.
Mhm.
Now, the word for wholeness, I want you to think of wholeness as a door that you go through to unlock all the aspects that we all want. So let me just give you a few really quick wholenesses because everybody wants all of them, right? They're like, well, I want all those. I go, well, you're going to have all of them, but there's one access point that you need to go through in order to access all of them.
Mhm.
And mine, I'll tell you mine, here they are. Mine is self-acceptance,
Mm. Yeah, which makes sense.
right? So if I, Rhonda Britten, do not accept myself, I
Mhm.
cannot have intimacy. I cannot have confidence. I cannot have integrity. I cannot have personal power. I
Yeah.
can't have any of these things.
Mm. Wow.
But if I walk through the door of self-acceptance, I have
Mm.
access to all these, right?
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So my focus is, you know, self-acceptance. How accepting of myself? How accepting am I? Because obviously when I'm triggered, am I accepting myself? Yeah, not doing that. And
Right.
definitely not being authentic. Those go
Right.
out the window. Remember, your wheel of freedom goes out the window when you're
Yeah.
triggered. Just
Yeah.
goes out the window. So
Mhm.
you got to grab it back, right? So then wholeness comes in. I have a level of self-acceptance.
Yeah.
And then because I have a level of self-acceptance, I naturally do what's called self-affirming behaviors.
Mm.
So I give an example like this. Proactive behaviors are you have to decide to be patient. You
Yeah.
have to practice being patient. You have to be willing to be patient.
Yeah.
When you're self-affirming, you are patient.
Mm.
You don't have to try even at all,
Yeah.
right? So proactive behaviors take effort and self-affirming are just natural. You're in the flow
Yeah.
Mm.
of being who you really are. So it takes zero effort.
Yeah.
You just naturally do them
Yeah.
because your heart is open, you're available,
Mhm.
you're not threatened,
Yeah.
you feel safe, right? You feel connected to yourself and others. So you can show up as you. You're the real you.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the wheels methodology that I uncovered to save my own life. That is what I teach my students and my private clients and my coaches, because I train certified fearless living coaches
Mhm.
that can help you identify it. You can identify because everyone, well, how do I find my wheels? Well, you can get the book and go through the exercises that way.
Mhm.
You can hire a certified fearless living coach,
Mhm.
or you can take the Fearless Living Transformation Program inside at fearlessliving.org. And that takes you through my whole process. Every exercise, all the tools, helps you unfold what it is, right? And so I know there's probably somebody right now thinking, oh, I know mine. I'm telling you right now, 99.9999% is wrong. It's wrong. It is instead a fear response.
Yeah.
Like nobody likes rejection.
Right.
Most of us have a fear of rejection as a fear response.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of failure as a fear response.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our core trigger.
No.
Right? So that's what
Especially if it works so hard to hide itself from us.
Yes.
It does not want to be found, because when you see it, oh my God, I can't even tell you all the wonderful things my coaches and my clients.
You can shine the light.
I was going to say, like, the gig's up. Get out. We're good.
Shine the light on it. We found you. And now I can go to the wheel of freedom.
And you know how to work it. So that's the thing. Like, it's not just magic, right?
Right.
You know, you have to practice being more aware, and it takes courage to be aware.
Yeah.
I think it takes humility and vulnerability to become aware of those fear responses, even though you beat yourself up for them now, but to really call them fear responses and call yourself out.
Yeah.
Because so many people are afraid of lifting the hood to discover they're worse than they thought.
Yeah.
But this I can promise everybody here. You are better than you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
The wheel of fear has been lying to you for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years, because this is what I want you to hear. Fear loves you. It loves you. It just has a job to keep you safe. That's it.
That's it.
Fear doesn't care if you follow your purpose. Fear doesn't care if you're happy. Fear doesn't care if you fall in love. It could care less.
As long as you're safe.
As long as you're safe. And because the way our neurobiology is wired, the only way fear can guarantee our safety is repeating the patterns of the past, because you're alive now. We're alive. Well,
it's working.
It's working.
So let's keep doing this.
It's working. It's working. How amazing. I've done such a good job. Look at me. I'm a great fear, right? I'm amazing. Look at how
That's it.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't care that you're miserable. They don't care that you want to do, you have craving for more. They don't care. It doesn't care. So you've got to care. You've got to care so that you can decide, well, wow, I really like living in these areas of my life where I'm in freedom. I really like those areas. You mean I can have that same energetic feel, that same positive? Yes, you can have that everywhere.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is what I've devoted my life to, lovely ladies. This is what I've devoted my life to.
I mean, the power of identifying that trigger and then doing the heavy lifting to figure out how do you get to that wheel of freedom so that you can, but that's that conscious awareness all the time. Like, I've been triggered. I need to go now to my central nature.
That's right.
I need to go into that authenticity or whatever yours
Or loving
is.
or generous, again, whatever yours is.
Yeah.
And the thing that, I've had people say to me, well, my fear is not being good enough. Okay. Many people have said that to me over the 3 decades. And I always say the same thing. The fear of not being good enough is a generic version of the wheel of fear. When you personalize this sucker, your core trigger, your fear responses, your core negative feeling, your self-destructive behaviors. Oh, baby, that comes to life. It can no longer be denied because you see it. You see it when you're doing it. And so your fear responses might be different than mine, right? Your core, your trigger might be different than mine, but the mechanism is the same, how it works. And the more aware you are, by the way, the quicker you can get on your wheel of freedom. And so you have full power over deciding to do that.
Absolutely. And our brain wants that safety. And so uncovering that trigger is where the heavy work is.
Yeah, because it definitely tells it will. I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with, and they're like, because I do people's wheels, obviously, and then sometimes I do them in groups, right? And people will be like, I got mine, and I'm like, okay, well, let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Let's do that, right? And
Which is
then,
actually like their fear hard at work,
Yeah,
right?
of course
Like
it is. I got to keep her safe. No,
if
let's
I
just
can
say this
convince
one.
Rhonda that this is mine, I'm good to go, right?
Exactly.
How do we,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Okay, well, and then because they do the worksheets, right? They fill out all the worksheets. I go, well, let me see worksheet A. Let me see worksheet C. Let me see that drawing you made. And all of a sudden, because once you're aware of how this works, you start seeing the pattern that they cannot see, right?
Yeah.
And you go, because a lot of people want mine because it's me. So they just go like, oh, mine's loser like yours. Like, yeah, no, that's not
It doesn't work that way.
You
Go
love
get
me and all,
mine.
but that is not yours.
Yes.
So, I'm going to take in all your worksheets and we're going to I'm going to ask you a few questions. We're going to, go back and forth for a little while. And then I will do a couple things and, ask a couple questions and obviously do my coaching work to loosen them up to the idea that I'm just about to drop on them.
Exactly.
Right. And like I said, like Natalie said earlier, like when I said like, no, right. They give me some sort of response. I'm like, yeah, pretty much nailed that one. Like that's
Yes.
close. And then they will try to, I cannot tell you how many times. No, that can't be it. I go, you know what? You know what? Why don't you practice it? Why don't you just practice using it?
Yeah.
Just practice. Because when you use it and practice, if it's wrong, you will know very quickly because it won't fit, it won't work, right? So just use it. And some people aren't willing to take the one that I want them to have. So I let them choose whatever one they want. If that's how I can get them just used to doing the work.
Yeah.
Because if they pick anyone, they're starting to use the process.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting more and more evident what their actual best wheel is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
Well,
Fearless Living. So,
Oh my gosh.
Fearless Living, the book,
Yeah.
connecting with a coach. You have certified Fearless Living coaches or joining the Fearless Living community. At
transformation program. Yep.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I think
Those
this
are the
is,
3 ways to get it.
yes.
Of course, you can do it by yourself with the book, but I really encourage you not.
Yeah.
I really encourage you to do it because again, it's hard to call yourself out. So I
Yeah.
really encourage you to do it with a friend that is not afraid to tell you the truth, right? Like you're going there as honest buddies. You're going to be honest buddies, fear busters together, and you're going to help them, and they're going to help you. And again, I have the whole process. Chapter 2, just go with it, and you are going to get to the other end of it. And then, of course, go through Chapter 3, the Wheel of Freedom.
Yes.
Okay.
And you will have a more understanding as you answer the questions. You're going to start seeing like, oh, okay, got
I
it.
got it.
I got it. Yes.
Yeah.
But, I do have a free gift for everyone. And this actually plays with the Wheel of Fear and Wheel of Freedom. So when one of the fear responses is procrastination, right? We talked about that. And we wonder, why can't I get something done? What is my problem? We make a list. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've done this many times. You make a list, 10 things, right? And then you check them off like 1, 2, 3, done, skip 4, skip 5, go to 6. And then you put 4 and 5 on the next day.
Yep. Oh,
And you skip them again, right?
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, you're still putting them on your list.
Yes.
Maybe you putting them on your list because you hate it because you never get them done, right? So the reason you're not doing specific things that you say you want to do, or it would make a difference in your life if you did them, is because of fear, as we've discussed. So this tool that is everybody's favorite tool, it's called stretch, risk, or die, because you feel like you're going to die, right? So we all have a comfort zone. We're all familiar with that. If we've read a book, right? We all know that. Well, outside the comfort zone is the stretch zone, then there's the risk zone, then there's the die zone. And what people forget is that when we are not taking action, when we say we want to, there is an emotional fear activated, right? Our core trigger. So when we listed on our 2 things on our list, most of the time we're equating them all equal. All 10 are equal tasks, equal risk taking. They're not. Some are stretches, some are risks, and some feel like a die. So the stretch, risk, and die tool, like I said, is one of my clients' very favorite tools because it makes everything super easy and super handy to move you into action quickly. Okay. So you could even put your proactive behaviors as what's a stretch, what's a risk, what's a die, right? If you want to triple your income, stretch, risk, and dies. You want to get married, stretch, risk, and dies. Want to lose weight, stretch, risk, and dies. Want to do it again, get healthy, stretch, risk, or dies. And then you're going to start giving yourself a break because you're going to start noticing, no wonder you're not doing, the marathon because it's a die.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not taking a walk because you think then it obligates you to take that marathon because that's what you got in your mind, because that's what you should be doing because you're a higher overachiever, right? So you start plotting everything on the stretch, risk, and die. Now, the course has, they're 3 15-minute videos, super, super easy. I'm talking to a group, so you're going to also laugh. And it also has templates, worksheets. So it's going to help you identify stretch, risk, and dies in different areas of your life. And then you're going to plot them. And then in the third video of the 15-minute videos only, I actually go through the Wheel of Fear again in very good detail. So you're going to be able to see me actually talking to people about it and drawing it so you can get a more deepened view of it. Okay. So go over to fearlessliving.org, org/risk, RISK. Fearlessliving.org // risk, RISK. You're going to put your name and email in, and you're going to get access to the Fearless You platform. You're going to get access to that course. And then please go take the course in the next 24 hours because, research says you won't do it if you don't do it in the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
So go do it, download the worksheets, and help yourself see whatever area, I don't care if it's big, small, whatever area that your life that you would like to move forward in, use it as a practice for your stretch, risk, and die.
Love it.
And then as you do it, you're going to start seeing, well, no wonder I haven't done it. No, okay, now I see. Because in between the comfort and stretch is the wheel of fear circling it. Stretch and risk, the wheel of fear circles it. Right? So you have to go through the wheel of fear, even if it's a stretch.
Wow.
So if you're not doing things that you want to do, go to fearlessliving.org /risk, RSK. If you're procrastinating, get your butt there. And go and get access to it. And please watch it. I'm telling you, it will transform your life just by watching those videos. You're going to have a different understanding, and it will lessen the beat up yourself. And I also give a tool in there that shows you how to acknowledge yourself so that you build your confidence. Because confidence doesn't come first. Confidence is a result of taking risks. So I also show you how to build your confidence with a second tool in that 3-video, 15-minute each course.
Beautiful. We will make sure that we drop the link in the show notes as well, so no one has an excuse on why they haven't done it. We're going to make it that much easier for them to access it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this was amazing.
Yes.
It's so eye-opening. And your story, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's just absolutely amazing. And it's absolutely amazing what you have done, the CDEFG, all the things that you did.
Yada yadas.
Because it's pretty dang impressive. And
Yes.
you're changing people's lives. And yeah, I think a lot of us are living in fear and it keeps us stuck. And so until we can get through that wheel of fear and get over to the wheel of freedom, we're going to get kind of the same.
That's right. That's right.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for being with
Rhonda,
us.
thank you. Absolutely.
And if I could get everyone to get this, just gotta put this in. If you're able, put your hand on your heart. If you're willing to be corny a little bit, and I want you to hear my words. Go ahead and shut your eyes so you can really take them in. There is nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. There is nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. Let that soak into your cells. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. Let it melt over your bones. There's nothing wrong with you if it's just fear. Just soak that in. Take that in. And say, yes, I accept. Yes, I accept. Yes, I accept. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just fear. I promise you that is true. I promise you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. Deep breath in, take that in, and whew, yes, baby. All right, my
Beautiful
friend.
way to end. Thank you.
For having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out to join us. We appreciate you. And thank you for the resources and tools that you're sharing with the listeners. We will make sure that we pass that on. And thank you for creating these modalities and tools. This is just fabulous work. And I know that you've used these tools yourself. And so now being able to train other people to help other individuals navigate through fear so that they can just continue stretching and no dying. Like we're not going to die at everything because oftentimes there's quite a few things that end up on that die list. It's like, that's all die. We're all gonna... But thank you, Rhonda.
I'm never bungee jumping. Okay.
Nor am I. Nor am I.
No, we're all in agreement.
We're all on the same page there.
Yeah. No.
Oh my goodness. We appreciate you. We will make sure that we drop all of your contact information and the risk assessment videos and resources in the show notes so that our listeners can go over and watch those videos, do the assessment, and connect with you. And it has been an absolute pleasure. An absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And if you are wanting to learn more about what's happening in the world of Reignite Resilience, remember that you can just head on over to reigniteresilience.com and check us out there. We will see you all soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on the Reignite Resilience podcast. We hope you had some aha moments and learned a few new real-life ideas to fuel the flames of passion. Please subscribe on your favorite streaming platform, like or download your favorite episodes, and of course, share with your friends and family. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Reignite Resilience.